Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Alias Dissects some of the creatures in Primordialis. Today we're going to be hitting a very special creature. As you can see, we're zoomed all the way out this time and we're in this very peculiar circle. This is like a weird little side zone. You can sometimes get there from the jungle, you can sometimes get there from the lava zone, you can sometimes get there from the dark zone. But we're gonna go ahead and get to the middle of this whirlpool and show off one of the craziest discoveries, one of the weirdest creatures in this entire game that I've encountered so far. Here we go. So, first thing that we note is that we've got an unbelievable amount of HP. We've got these Seeker tentacles that can go incredibly fast and punch things super hard. And we've also got acid spitters when I hit spacebar. And then we've got all these weird tentacles. We've got this massive amount of health, and it looks like we're rooted into the wall as well, which means that we're going to have an absolutely absurd level of HP to work with. Like, the regeneration will be really impressive. So let's go ahead and take a look at this design. Okay. So it's obviously gargantuan. It is unbelievably huge. And this appears to be our first creature that actually is utilizing a combo cell. So this combo cell is a mixture of always on, anchor, and root. So it can't be uprooted easily, I suppose. And it's basically just layering the entire creature all the way along, giving it as much regeneration as possible. We've got these light cells here, just to take damage, I guess. They don't really do anything special. But it's not like it would take significant damage from that either, or anyway. And then we've got these things here, which are interesting. So we've got this little nodule. When you hit spacebar, it lights up these radiants, which then powers up this thermo cell. And interesting. So why the negating, I wonder? So you can see that once the radiant activates, that's when the acid things activate, when they're cold. So let's see if we've got any mutations. We do have mutations. We've got drifting and entropy. So entropy, heat from your cells will be negated. So that's why the negative is there. So this thing, when it cools, it creates a negative charge, which will then turn into a positive charge when it runs through the negating, which will make it so it fires the acid. I imagine the cooling is a twofold thing. I think this thing's biggest weakness is probably heat, so I think that that's a big concern that it's trying to manage, and that helps with that a little bit. And I imagine the drift is so that these things can move at a much more rapid pace than they would be able to otherwise. So these things punch incredibly hard. They can rip right through creatures. Here, I'll spawn in, like, I don't know. Spawn in one of these guys, I guess. And see if I can get a good punch on him. Yeah, you can see it just rips them to pieces. They have an incredible amount of force behind them. Alright, let's investigate the next nodule here. We've got a bunch of exposed hearts for increased regeneration. Obviously, they can afford to expose those hearts because of the natural regeneration we have from all the rooted cells. We've also got some elastic going on here, probably just for a little bit of permeability. And then we've got a breakaway. When the breakaway happens, the detach enables the angry cell. And if these make contact with anything, these feeler cells will activate, and then these things will start to light up. So these will freeze whatever they go up against rather than doing damage because of the entropy reversal. And then we've got this very long antenna with a single seeker. So that way this thing has a little bit of control, probably just to make it look cool. I don't think that does anything helpful at all, but it does make it look interesting, doesn't it? Next up, we've got these incredibly long tentacles, another combo cell, which is this right here. So this is a nested cell, actually. So you can see we've got... Whoa. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 double flex cells. And a heart cell. And some slippery cells for reduction. With poison and detach detector as well. Wow. Okay. So basically, if these detach, they become poisonous. And, I guess they destroy themselves pretty quickly. But the whole idea is that they've got just an absurd amount of flexibility. So this is something that's relatively new to me. People have been doing it for a long time for combo cells, but if you combine 2 of the same cell, it basically amplifies the effects of that cell. So for example, if you were to do 2 electricities together, it would increase the amount of electricity that it would generate. If you did it with 2 jets, it would increase the jet power. And obviously, if you're doing it with all these flexible cells, it's going to make them a lot more flexible. I'm not sure what other traits Flex Cell has that it would also be increasing the effect of. But, yeah, this is an incredibly over-engineered cell. That is for certain. You can see the biomass cost on this thing is 55 on its own. And the total cost of this creature is just insane. It is absurd. And here we go. So on the end of these creatures, we have yet more combo cells with a whole bunch of wacky stuff going on. So these aren't just simple spikes. These are nested hard cell spikes by the looks of it. Yeah, so we've got multi-hard cell. Just absurd levels of hard cells. Okay, so it's hard cell, 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 hard cell. Oh! Okay, so no, these aren't attached to the spikes directly. The spikes are normal, and then they've got these insanely hard cells basically protecting this interior layer of seekers, which would be this one here, which is seeker cell, heart cell, and then a bunch more seeker cells. So basically, this is going to improve natural health regeneration if this takes any chip damage at all. And it'll be really, really tanky. We've also got this proximity, which is going to start freezing enemies. Or freezing anything that gets close. And once that freezing goes off, it's going to create a negative charge from here, which will be converted to positive, which will allow it to vacuum. So this is attempting to pull in enemies, anything that gets close, and it's going to rip it to shreds because of the incredible speed that it has access to. That's pretty wild. And then we've got the main body here. We've just got some hard cells, and just an unbelievable amount of hearts. I think we've actually covered the whole creature with that. This creature is set up in a really impressively defensive position. This has been the only creature that I've come across that I have not yet been able to kill. So yeah, I'm gonna have to come up with a build to kill this. Please keep an eye out for upcoming Primordialis content, as I am coming closer and closer to being able to get my wins. And yeah, we'll be able to further abuse this creature now that we know how it works. And, yeah, what an incredible creature it is. I'm going to try doing these in a much shorter format, and I figured this creature would be a great way to start, because, it'll make it so we've got more time to edit for a single creature, and hopefully we can have a higher produced video. So please let me know what you think. For future biomes, I intend on breaking up into, like, 2 or 3 creatures a video. Whatever makes, like, a nice, concise video. And, yeah, I think that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed. What do you think we should call this thing? I imagine there's probably, like, an internal name, but, I think it's really fun for the community to come up with names for stuff like this. But this is, like, a crazy secret side boss just in no man's land. And, you know, coming from Noita to Primordialis, you know, Calyresis is a big Noita head, so I imagine there's going to be some wacky secrets in this game, and I think this creature could very well be a part of it. Also, note that I believe there's a special reward for killing this creature. Since I haven't killed it yet myself, I'm not going to kill it, and obviously it would probably be spoilers for you if you're looking at this video. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoy. I hope you can go and get this creature murdered yourself. Feel free to drop advice on how to do it down in the comments down below. And yeah, big thank you to all the support that I've been having lately. People have been super wonderful, and I appreciate you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.
しょうがねえな。よっこら。